Oh yeah, we're doing MegaMan X2 since we did MegaMan X1 before. And yeah, I'm not super familiar with this one. I never had it growing up, and I've only played it a handful of times. So I guess we'll see. Um, yeah, I guess we'll see how we do. But yeah, this one. So from what I've seen, like everyone claims that this is like the best one. That it made everything that X1 had, and then or took everything that X1 did, and then made it better. But again, like I don't really have much of an opinion because I think I've only played it through once, and this was like many years ago. Like what was it? It was in like the early 2000s, maybe. Yeah, it was like the early like 2002 or something. Because I remember around that time we still had our. No, we had gotten we were on our second computer, like our second personal computer, because we had like an old compact, a gray compact, like Windows 95 ass computer, and then by that point, I think we had Windows XP on the what's it called? On like we got an E-machines. I don't even know if that brand exists anymore. Probably not. Anyway, yeah, we got one of those, and I think at the time our neighbor had showed us I guess he got a disc that had like emulators on them, and I didn't know what emulators were or anything like that because I was I don't know, I was a kid, and yeah, and I had never looked it up. But it had like it only had NES games, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So like that's kind of how I played some of the Mega Man games. But he was super stingy with it. Like he didn't like he like I think he gave it to us for like a day, and then he's like, oh, I want it back or something, or he didn't let us keep it. I don't remember what it was, but he was super like it's mine. So I was like, okay, whatever. Like I tried it out, I thought it was cool, but then I gave it back to him. But then once I like realized that was the thing that you can do, then I was like, oh yeah, these are the three guys. I forget, the X Hunters, I think is what they're called. There's stuff happening. I don't know. I think they're trying to rebuild Zero, because Zero died in the last game. I think that's the plot. So what I ended up doing was I looked it up online, and this is still dial-up time. But I looked it up online, and I figured out they were called emulators and stuff like that. So like I found it on the internet, and then I think first I just played it on a website because it was a website you just play the games on without having to download anything. And then after that, okay. And then after that, what is it? Like I eventually, like I downloaded it and I had it on my computer, and our computer was like it was like. I don't know if it was like the emulator was like still kind of new, so it wasn't optimized or what, but I remember it was like not the best quality. Like I had to like play without sound or do like frame skipping or something because like the computer couldn't handle it. So yeah, my like first experience with and that's how like I learned about the sequels, well, this game specifically, because I knew there was an X3 because I played X3 when I was a kid because we rented it once, or I rented it once, or my dad rented it for me, whatever. So, but X2, like, I mean, obviously there had to be an X2 if there was a 1 and a 3, but I never, like, you and your kid, you don't really look that stuff up, and like, I wasn't up to date with everything. I wanted to be, but it was just impossible because, it wasn't like I was getting Nintendo Power every week and I knew, or every month or whatever, and I knew what was going on. And then by that time, like when I did start looking up, like reading up on games and stuff like that, it was just the stuff that was out at the time, which was like GameCube, PS2, Xbox One, or the original Xbox. So they weren't talking about MegaMan X unless it was like the collections on stuff. But anyway, back to that. So I finally got to play it, and I remember vividly it was X2 because it was around Christmas time, and I remember that we couldn't I had to turn the sound off on the emulator because the sound would skip. Probably because the game was skipping frames. I don't remember exactly what the thing was, but it was weird because you could still have Windows Media Player in the background, and that would play fine. I mean, it would lag if you tried to flip between them, but it would still play. So I had Windows Media Player playing, and this is Wire Sponge, and and I remember sitting in our little living room thing that my dad had built us, because my older sister and we had our own living room, I guess, but it was really just that's where the dog would hang out, and where the computer was, because the computer was shared, because obviously. So yeah, and I remember it was around Christmas because I was listening to this one Christmas CD that this Spanish Christmas CD that my dad would always play around the holidays. So I remember vividly that that's what was going on at the time, but that's all I remember, and I never played it with sound. So the only thing I know about the soundtrack from this game is from listening it on my own, and going on YouTube and finding videos of the best soundtracks or whatever, and then they would list some of the songs from this game in there. And yeah, that's really all I know about that's I don't know so I don't know the music from X2 from that, but I do know of it because of something else. But so yeah, when my original playthrough was on a keyboard on an old computer, no sound, frame skipping, save states nonstop because I kept it was hard using the friggin' keyboard. I think the next one is Gator. So yeah. And I hate the theme song for this. I hate the whole this guy's the level and the music. In the boss fight, I don't like Will Gator. Yeah, I don't like it. Also, I don't know where the capsules and stuff are, because again, I've only played this game once. But I did mention I do know that. So let me rephrase that. I've only played this game once all the way through. I've tried playing it again on the God, I don't remember where I've tried playing it. But I've definitely tried playing it again, and I get to a point where I'm just I think there's some parts in this game, because I'm not familiar with it and I didn't grow up with it, where I feel the difficulty goes up, and that might just be because I'm not great or whatever, but I feel the difficulty kind of spikes at some point, and it's hard just for the sake of being harder. It's not challenging in that fun way where if you win or if you lose, it's your fault. There's just some because I think this game introduced, and Wire Sponge kind of did it, but I think this game introduced when the bosses are gonna lose, they have a second mode. Is there anything over here? No. They have their desperation mode or whatever. I don't know what they're called. Wait, that kind of looked like an opening. Is it? Nope, I'm tripping. Yeah, and that, it's a cool idea, but it's one of those things where I'm it kind of feels I think in starting with this game, at least for me, I feel having the boss's weakness definitely is either that or you need to play to perfection, because you will get bopped. And I always one thing I liked about X1 was that even if you don't have the boss's weapon, Like, yeah, some of them are harder than others, and obviously having the boss's weapon kind of makes things like super easy. But like, if you don't have it, like, you can still beat the game and not have a hard time. Like, you can pick any of the bosses. Maybe, yeah, I guess even Armadillo. I think Armadillo is like probably the hardest one. But you can pick like any of the... Oh, shit. You can pick any of the bosses and to start with, and you can still have fun with the game or whatever. Whereas this one, I think there's some bosses, from what I remember, that like if you don't have the weapon or armor upgrades, like you're not gonna win. So, yeah. So I mentioned that I'm like familiar with the music from this game, but I'm not familiar with this version of the music. I might have talked about it in the X1 playthrough, but a buddy of mine had MegaMan Extreme on the Game Boy Color, or Extreme 2 actually, and that's where I got to experience the music and like the stuff from this, since it was basically like a remix of the stuff from this game and X3 and X1 maybe even. Yeah, I think Octopus is in it, or someone's in it. I don't remember who's in it, but. Yeah, so I'm familiar with those versions of the music, like the Sigma Fortress 2 or 1, I think it's in this game. It sounds pretty good on this, but then to me the Game Boy version is just like a million times better. All right, so we're gonna fight Gator now, and yeah, I don't know his patterns. I think he's in Extreme 1. And I mostly played Extreme 2. So I'm not as familiar with him. But I have played like Extreme 1 like all the way through, so I'm like aware enough. Like I recognize the patterns. And I also tried doing the I think it's called like the X challenge or something. Ah! Yeah, I tried doing the X challenge and I got my ass beat. I didn't do too well on that. But yeah, I don't know. So far, like, I mean, it's like so far it's still like MegaMan X. So obviously, like it can't, like, how bad can it be? And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just like, it might be the nostalgia or something, or maybe it's, I don't know, the music or what. But I'm definitely like more partial to X1 and even X3, which people say is like the worst of the original trilogy. And I've seen like what people say about X3, that it's like open and empty and like it feels like they didn't finish it. And like, yeah, I can see that. I think it was also handled by a different team, because the regular X team was working on something else, something like that. I don't remember the exacts. All right, does he not have a? I don't know why I remember him throwing 2 of those blades out. Again, it's probably because I haven't really... Oh, there it is. There, that's his... No! You bastard. Maybe it's because I'm, again, not used to this version of the original version of it. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I think of this guy. Oh my god, I wasn't even close! He's gonna pop up again? One more. Just, come on. What is this red stuff supposed to be? Is it oil? Or like... Yeah, I don't know. Yay, we beat him! Alright. I don't know who comes after Gator. I'm not gonna lie, I did look up the boss order before I started, because I wasn't sure. Bubble Crab is the next one. So, that's who we're gonna fight next. Well, he gives you the yeah, even his weapon sucks. Like, that's another thing. The weapons in this game are so situational, and like, you can't just use them. Like, the wire chain sucks. This thing sucks. Ooh. I see now why Sigma fell at the hands of MegaMan X. He is quite formidable. I am not sure our Mavericks can hold him long enough. We may have to intervene. Ooh, they're gonna come and fight me. Oh hey, it's Dr. Kane. He doesn't even show up in the first game, even though he's like in the manual. I think he's no. He might be in the like in the intro thingy. Dr. Kane, what happened? A group of Mavericks calling themselves the X-Hunters have just contacted us.
Greetings, we have all of Zero's parts.
They can be yours if you can defeat us.
We look forward to meeting you, X. X, Zero's control chip is still stored here. I doubt it is possible to resurrect him without it.
Dr. Kane, I've got to get Zero's parts back. At any cost. Yay! Alright, save game data. Dope. And we will return with a